The electric car space in India is alive and kicking, with many of manufacturers bringing their best wares to the table. While the budget segment has seen quite a few launches, the premium one has been relatively quiet until now. Mercedes-Benz is opening the innings for the premium segment with this car, the EQC. It was showcased at the 2020 Auto Expo, and today we will drive it to tell you if it's worthy of the Mercedes-Benz badge. If you're familiar with the current Mercedes-Benz design language, then the EQC will be right up your alley. Many of the elements have been taken from the GLC crossover and everything looks quite familiar. The EQC is based on the GLC SUV and has the same dimensions and overall design, but with enough EQ bits to help it stand out. The three-pointed star stands proudly in the middle of the face, while above it is a fiber optic running from end to end, connecting both the full LED headlamps, adding a nice futuristic touch to the face. In profile, it's a Mercedes through and through, with a sloping roofline, large shiny wheels and that EQC badge above the front fender to let everyone know that you're driving something really special. The rear gets a large LED light bar connecting both tail lamps and a chrome strip on the bumper to add that little extra premium touch to the overall appearance. In all, the EQC is a bit understated but still a handsome car, and because it is something unique in the current car market, it will stand out in a crowd. Keeping the essence seems to be the key here in the EQC's cabin. Those familiar with the Mercedes-Benz design language will find many of the elements from the GLC crossover in the EQC. The center console and climate control interface are similar to the standard GLC, but in place of the circular vents, you now get rectangular units. The highlight of the dashboard, of course, are the dual screens, where the right one serves as the instrument cluster and the left being the infotainment system. It runs Mercedes' latest MBUX infotainment system with all the connectivity options and navigation and the ability to control it via the touchscreen, touchpad, steering buttons and even a voice assistant rather aptly named Hey Mercedes. Hey Mercedes!
How may I help you?
Show me the maps. Other than this, you get all the usual luxuries like seat memory function for the front seats, multi-zone climate control, leather upholstery and ambient lighting. Mercedes-Benz EQC is powered by two electric motors, one on each axle. Together, they produce 400 bhp and 760 Nm of torque. You get a single-speed gearbox and Mercedes-Benz 4MATIC all-wheel drive system. Off the line, the EQC is quick and a surprising one at that, considering it weighs 2.5 tons. Gathering speed is effortless, and in fact, it's something that you should keep an eye on considering the quiet nature of your driving experience. The EQC's powertrain is a first glimpse into the future of new normal with regard to an involved driving experience. You get 4 driving modes which alter the response of the throttle, and the paddle shifters behind the steering wheel now control how much of regen you can get from the powertrain. The Mercedes-Benz EQC is underpinned by McPherson struts in front and an air suspension at the rear. As is the case with most cars in the Mercedes-Benz range, comfort is the key. The ride is on the softer side and absorbs most bumps and imperfections without much of a struggle. It's the sharper potholes and speed breakers where you get noticeable body movement. You also have to contend with the low ground clearance, which usually results in scraping over large speed breakers if you're not careful. Given the EQC's weight, size and soft suspension setup, it's a car you drive in comfort and at a relaxed pace. Going around 2 turns lock to lock, the steering is electrically assisted, and in eco or comfort mode, it feels light and easy to use. However, switch the car into sport and it does weigh up nicely. At city speeds, the steering is easy to use and responds well. However, given the relative size of the vehicle, don't expect a sporty handling from it. It's best to drive it in a sedate, relaxed manner, going from point to point. This being an electric car, it's all very quiet and refined inside. The motors hum in the background when you're driving around, and the NVH insulation is very efficient in reducing the sounds of the outside world to something just above a distant chatter. All cars will get an AC wall charging unit as standard when purchased. The wall charging unit is a 7.4 kWh capacity unit and takes 10 hours for a full charge. The fastest form of charging is via a 50 kWh DC fast charger that takes the battery from 10 to 100% in just 90 minutes. The German automaker has said that it will install DC fast chargers at all its major dealerships. Is the EQC worthy of the Mercedes-Benz badge? After spending a whole day with it, we certainly think so. It's relatively fast, very comfortable, and feature-loaded both in terms of comfort and technology. If this is a glimpse into the future of motoring, then it certainly looks like a good one.